As we continue the series in the long anticipation for the 40th anniversary of WrestleMania, up next is WrestleMania 20. It took place on March 14, 2004 at Madison Square Garden, New York in front of 20,000 fans with a $2.4 million gate and 1,020,000 pay-per-view buy. Hosted by Jim Ross, Jerry Lawler, Michael Cole, and Tazz, both Pete Ross and Donald Trump made their return as guest celebrities. This WrestleMania marks the third and final time a WrestleMania was held at the legendary Madison Square Garden. Prior to the event, the Hall of Fame was revived as a new annual tradition that would continue on to date. Despite it being a long show with a great main event, it also hosted matches that were forgettable with low-rated matches that were up to the challenge to provide a stronger alternate WrestleMania 20. We would still have a pre-show and keep Cruiserweight open on it with Chavo defending his title. The Playboy match would not be a match but a short segment as the women show off their talent to see who deserved the spot the most. SmackDown. Big Show, C. versus John Cena for the WWE United States Championship. This was a strong opening match with Cena getting in an FU on show to win the title for the first time. We would leave it as it was. Raw. Randy Orton, C. versus Mick Foley for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Randy's role as the Legend Killer accelerates as a member of Evolution, where he calls out Mick Foley to return to the WWE for one more match. Foley agrees to return to the ring after 4 years, though the odds are against Orton. With help from Evolution, Orton gets in the RKO for the win. This leads to a hardcore rematch at Backlash. SmackDown. Too Cool, C. versus the world's greatest tag team for the WWE Tag Team Championships. We would make this a regular tag match instead of a fatal 4-way, with the world's greatest tag team going over that night with a pinfall over Scotty. Raw. The Rock vs. Batista in a singles match. If Rock loses, he retires. Evolution beat down on Mick Foley on an episode of Raw where he accepted a match against Orton. The Rock makes a shocking appearance running in and cleaning house, though Batista stands up to him and they go at it till officials have to stop them. The Rock makes a challenge for one night only at WrestleMania. Batista, however, accepts only under the condition that The Rock retires if he loses. The two have a great match only for Batista to get a clean win on The Rock all on his own with 2 Batista bombs, making him a bigger monster heel in the WWE. The Rock says his farewell but promises fans he'll find his way back one day. SmackDown. The Undertaker vs. Brock Lesnar in a singles match. We would have Brock lose the title to Eddie at No Way Out. Goldberg did not assist, and in frustration he takes it out on several superstars on the next SmackDown till the American Badass stops him. Lesnar later attacks Taker viciously to the point that he ties Taker up and throws him down a river. Lesnar is arrested, and Taker is nowhere to be found till a message is given to Lesnar that he would return to face him at WrestleMania. The Undertaker makes his return as the Dead Man with Paul Bearer, to a big pop and vanquishes Brock with a tombstone on a chair, tossing him into a casket to be taken away by druids. The fans that knew Brock was on his way out of the WWE were thrilled by the finish. Raw. Victoria, C. versus Molly Holly vs. Lita vs. Trish Stratus in a fatal 4-way for the WWE Women's Championship. Special stipulation requires the one who is pinned or submits has to have their head shaved. We would bring in Lita and Trish into this match, but still have Victoria defend her title, while Molly would be the one who gets pinned and her hair shaved. SmackDown. Eddie Guerrero, C. versus Chris Benoit for the WWE Championship. Eddie would win the title at No Way Out. Benoit would win the Royal Rumble, and since he was already on SmackDown, we would have him face Eddie Guerrero, 2 best of friends and former radicals who would meet face-to-face for a main event title. This would be the longest match on the card with both men giving it their all. For the finish, Benoit would drop on the mat headfirst with the flying headbutt for Eddie to go for a fast frog splash for the win to retain. Raw. The Dudley Boys, C. versus La Resistance for the World Tag Team Championships. We would have the Dudleys beat Evolution to win the tag titles on Raw and compete against La Resistance at WrestleMania. Dudleys retain with the 3D, but lose the titles the next night on Raw to Evolution. SmackDown. Rob Van Dam and Booker T in a singles match. Their feud began when they were paired up to try to win the tag titles only to get into a heated argument and would face off at WrestleMania. Both men would get counted out on the outside. In-ring segment. Stone Cold Steve Austin vs. Goldberg. For the past few weeks, Goldberg has been talking about wanting a dream match against Stone Cold and calls him out. Linda McMahon finally confronts Goldberg, saying he can't have a match with Austin because Goldberg hasn't signed a new contract with the WWE. Goldberg refuses to re-sign, saying he would only do so if Austin would confront him. Austin agrees to confront Goldberg at WrestleMania. Austin would come out to a pop and asks Goldberg about his contract so that he could finally sign, but instead Goldberg cuts a work shoot promo. He talks about his disdain for the direction of the business, how Triple H is a punk and that the WWE broke all their promises, so he won't be resigning. Austin says he's just a sorry loser who couldn't make it in the WWE. Goldberg spears Austin to much heat. Austin manages to fight back, but he lands a big stunner, leaving Goldberg out cold. Raw. Christian vs. Chris Jericho in a singles match. We would leave this match as is, with Trish Stratus involved and Christian getting the pinfall win. SmackDown. Kane vs. the APA in a handicap match. Kane was traded to SmackDown, where he got a shot at the WWE Championship on an episode of SmackDown. However, the APA got in his way before the match as he snaps at them but gets beaten down, missing his title opportunity. Kane starts to haunt the two, leading to a handicap match at WrestleMania and Kane managing to tombstone Farouk to win. Bradshaw snaps at Farouk and beats down on him after the match, which eventually leads to his JBL gimmick. Raw main event. Triple H, C, vs. Shawn Michaels vs. Kurt Angle for the World Heavyweight Championship in a triple threat. Kurt Angle was traded to Raw earlier in the year, where at No Way Out he would defeat Rob Van Dam and Booker T to become the #1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. However, Shawn Michaels was guaranteed a shot months back, so the match was made a triple threat. The match would end with Shawn Michaels getting in a superkick on Angle, only for Triple H to knock Shawn out with a sledgehammer and giving Angle a pedigree to retain his title that he had since Armageddon 2003. What did you think of this alternate WrestleMania? Stay tuned for WrestleMania 21. Comment, like, subscribe, and thank you for watching In the Plot.